Do you want to know your hint to go up to a girl? Eye contact. If they're just looking at you, they want you to come up to them.
I'm
just
taking
like
mental notes.
And this is my hint. I literally kept going like this. And we made eye contact, I swear to you, like maybe 8-9 times. So that was my hint, like come up to me, like I'm obviously think you're cute or something, right? Did not come up to me, and I was like,
basically
all right,
read her mind.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was
That's
saying.
a note.
I get back home, I wake up the next day, I get a DM. Hey, saw you at the Steve Madden event. You're really cute. I open it. It was the pink shirt guy. I was like, why didn't you come up to me, like at the actual thing?
Guys are scared nowadays.
Guys are so scared.
Equality, right? Then why is chasing still a man's job in 2025? If we're truly equal, stop sitting like royalty. Go after what you want. It's not the Middle Ages anymore. Step up or stay single.
55% of men find themselves scared to approach women for the fear of being labeled creepy. And on the other end, 77% of women say they want a man to approach them. Women want the power of a man, the privilege of a woman, and the accountability of a child. In their mind, they can demand respect rather than earning it. When faced with reality, these women come to understand that they cannot shape the world according to their desires.
No matter what you do, it's never enough. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's no satisfying this modern confusion.
I got this complaint from a lot of women actually that men don't really make real approaches anymore. If they do, it's like some bullshit, like they're gonna catcall or whatever. I do blame the internet as a part of it, but also
I think it's safer for dating apps and Instagram because I just send a DM or send a text, you don't respond, okay, cool, no pressure, no actual rejection, is whatever.
Men don't fear women. They fear false claims. Approaching feels risky, so dating apps seem safer. Truth is, she only misses the attention from men she wants.
I think one of the problems that we face now is that for so long as women, as a gender, we've said, don't approach me. Don't approach me when I look cute. Don't approach me at the gas station. Don't approach me when I look busted down. Like, just don't approach. And men have gotten to the point where they're just like, I don't know when to approach you. I'm not sure. Now, in my younger years, right? Because it's been a while since I dated, but in my younger years, you make eye contact with the guy, and it was like an unspoken, yes, you can approach me, like unspoken permission. I don't know if that's happening anymore. I think that at this point, men have just kind of gotten turned away by all of the turndowns, by all of the rejection is the word I'm looking for. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman approaching a man. But be prepared for rejection. I'll just say that, just like men have been getting rejected as women, if you choose to approach, you're going to have to be prepared for that rejection.
I mean, honestly, I don't think all of this conversation and all these talks about men not approaching women, I don't think it's true. I think it's a farce. And the reason why I say that is because it seems like every other day I'm coming across a video that's saying that men are approaching women and they don't like the way these men are approaching them. And I don't see how all of these women are getting approached every time they leave the house. But then you also have women that are also saying that men don't approach anymore. Somebody is...
Women get plenty of attention, just not from the kind of men they desire.
Why American men don't want to date American women anymore. A little disclaimer, I do live in the US for the past 7 years. 1. Some American men feel that American women are very entitled. They feel that many American women expect a partner who fit a specific ideal. He has to be smart, attractive, successful, fit. They believe that many American women have unrealistic expectations. They expect their partners to do everything, and they expect their partners to put their needs above their own. 2, because of the rise of radical feminism, there is a loss of femininity among American women, and they even started to adopt some masculine traits. 3, opportunistic behavior. A big percentage of divorces are initiated by women, and usually it's because they prioritize their career and personal growth over their family life. And a lot of men also express some frustration because they feel that there is a lack of commitment and loyalty among American women. And that is why a lot of American men are now dating non-American women, because they believe that non-American women tend to prioritize mutual respect, shared values, and commitment.
Some men have stopped dating altogether, used for attention, ignored for status. Real value goes unnoticed until it's too late.
The truth is that the good guys are done with dating.
I think she's pandering a little, but there is a lot of this going on right now. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a good guy. I'm not saying that all good guys are single or that all single guys are good. I'm just saying that a lot of us are kind of here right now. When I was a teenager, I thought dating worked like this. I did not know that this step was going to be here. I guess we could call this a negotiationship. It's when someone is not willing to give 100%. And it always happens when somebody drops the ball. For me, I've experienced a lot of ghosting, a lot of trading up, and it doesn't matter which guy I am. Even if I'm this guy, how do I know you're not gonna just do this? Couple women showed up wearing wedding rings. That does not inspire confidence. The most common thing for me is that we get to this stage and she says she wants to be polyamorous, which means she already is. I even had a crush on someone in 5th grade, and she didn't like me until after college, and we hung out for a month before she told me that she had a boyfriend. I've had some people tell me that I might just be attracting this kind of woman, and maybe that's true, or maybe they just shouldn't be doing these things, but for now I'm just kind of out of ideas.
Dating feels more like business now. Everyone juggling options, leaving honest men drained, unvalued, and walking away from the chaos.
All women are 304s. Nope. There is no such thing as traditional women anymore. Wrong. Women simply aren't worth it. What does that even mean? I am so tired of all of this negativity. Are you going to insist that masculinity is about growth, suffering, and overcoming difficult things, and then just not date because it's hard? Are some of you really so pessimistic and self-hating that you will just resign yourself to never feeling love and affection? Are you really going to sit here and insist that you have all of the answers to dating, and then just refuse to pass those answers on to a woman who is ready and willing to please you? Tell me, what battle are you even fighting? You insist there's a problem, but you aren't trying to actually solve it? What is the point of all of this other than to just kick and scream? There are a lot of great women out there looking for men with your values. Go meet them, be strong in your convictions, and enjoy the life that you can create with them. Because the negativity has got to stop.
We've heard enough of the lectures. No more guilt trips or one-sided speeches.
Men are not cold approaching women anymore. And the more I think about cold approaching, the more it just doesn't make sense and the more stupid it sounds, right? When you're cold approaching, you're in the lower position starting off. So the percentage level of you being successful is very slim, and slim just die. Attractive guys don't have to cold approach. Guys with money don't have to cold approach. They have leverage in some way, either their looks or their finances, social status, combination of all three, right? This is why they don't have to cold approach, right? In today's society, cold approach is dying because you got to understand women only want the top 20 to 30% of a guy, right? In general. So if they start cold approaching in general, they're only going to be cold approaching those kind of guys.
Approaching women today feels like a setup. Average guys risk being labeled or humiliated, while only status or money earns attention.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen. Guys in the comments, back me up on this. We have told men for years that their masculinity is toxic. Some men, as they got interested in dating, that's literally all they know, is to stay away from women, is to not bother them, and definitely don't approach them. So there is nothing wrong with a woman approaching a man. That shows confidence. And you know what? I don't even know if this stat is true. I didn't do much research into this, but I did see that 86% of women who make the first move end up married. So, I mean, come on, that's pretty good. I mean, I don't even care if that's not even a true statistic. Hell, let's run with that. But guys, back me up in the comments. Say, yeah, you would love that. Or women say, yeah, I made the first move and I'm now engaged, married, whatever. I'm telling you, that's just the way it's got to be. You don't have to like it. I mean, I'm sure guys didn't like when they were being called, when their masculinity, when their whole being was called toxic. They didn't like that. So start making the first move. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like having to make the first move. You could still have a traditional relationship after that. This is just getting you in a damn relationship. And as far as, you know, not liking things, I do things every day that I don't like to do, but it makes me a better person, gets me to my goals. So these are just facts, okay? Women, make the first move.
If women won't start initiating, they'll stay single. Forget tradition. Modern times demand modern effort.
When men say they're done with dating, that doesn't mean they're done with relationships. It doesn't mean they're giving up on starting families. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means they're done with dating, okay? And I think a lot of them have a hard time verbalizing this, so that's what I'm going to try to do in this video. Now, there's a little bit of an unwritten rule that men are starting to understand about dating, and you've probably heard people say this in the past. If not, you're going to hear it now, but the only winning move is to not play. You know, in regards to dating, the only winning move is to not play. That's what men are starting to realize. Again, like I said, relationships are fine. Families, fine. Dating, not good. Let me explain why. And this is the part that a lot of people have a hard time verbalizing. This is the dating experience for a man who's actually dating. It could be with your wife, it could be with your girlfriend, it could be a woman that you just met, you know, somebody on Tinder that you're taking out on a first date, whatever. Typically, you have to find a nice little venue to go to. You know, you might just go to dinner, but typically you want to go out and have a good time. So you find a nice venue with good music that you like. You pick her up, you drive to the venue, you park, you know, you pay her $10 to park or whatever, and then you walk to the front door and you wait in line. It's not the greatest experience, but you do what you have to do. Then finally you get to the door. And when you get to the door, there's some 7-foot monster roided up standing there, and he looks at your girl and he says, "You're good," and he throws her a compliment, compliments her looks a little bit. You know, "You're good, looking good tonight, you can go in." And then he looks at you, the man, and he says, "That'll be $20 for you, dirtbag." Maybe it's not that harsh. You know, sometimes it's not that harsh, sometimes it's even more harsh than that. But I'm not talking about the words here. It's the action. And the action is she gets in free, and the man has to pay $20 to get in, $25, sometimes higher, to get in. Now, everybody knows this is true. They have ladies' night, and you know, things like this happen. And we've just grown to expect it. This is the norm. But every man knows when he's at the front door and his girl can go in for free, and he just has this cuckoning moment, you know, this humiliating moment where it's like, she can go in, but I'm so unwanted here that I have to pay. And that's the way the system is set up. That's the way the dating market is set up. Men are not wanted there. Okay, just like this venue. Why do they have this set up? Because women are wanted there. Men are not wanted there. So they put a paywall there to prevent at least broke men from coming in. And by the way, they don't want alphas in there. They don't want charismatic chads in there. They don't want pickup artists in there. No, they want guys in there that will spend their money, guys that will fork out their cash. So they want a bunch of women. They'll fill the place to maximum capacity with women, and they'll let a few guys in, you know, a few suckers in to come in and blow all their money. And men finally started to wake up. You know, they finally started to understand that they go out there and they're not wanted. It has literally nothing to do with women. Okay, it's not all these people that are trying to make it a man versus woman thing. That's stupid.
Men are done investing time, money, and emotion only to be discarded. Peace is cheaper. A dog, a hobby, and financial freedom are better company.
Or even look in your direction. But not only that, so many women have taught men over the years that all men are predatorial, so the good men of the world gave up. And it's so funny because women will constantly say that men don't listen, but now that men are listening, y'all are wondering where the good guys are at, why they don't approach you anymore, and why men are just simply not interested. And why the hell would they be interested? They don't know if they're going to be the next subject of all men are trash content on social media. They don't know if they're going to be accused of doing something they didn't do.
Modern women are simply facing the results of their own choices.
I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends the other day, and she was telling me how she has a male friend who she's interested in romantically. And I said, "Have you said anything to him?" And she was like, "No." And I said, "Why not?" And she said, "Well, he should get my hints." And I said, "Hints? What hints?" She's like, "I mean, the way I act around him and you know, all this stuff." And I was like, "The way you act around him? Like, what do you mean?" And she's like, "You know, he should see that I like him." And I was just like, "So why don't you just tell him that you like him?" And she's like, "Well, I don't do that. I don't chase men. And I was like, like chasing men and letting a man know that you're interested in him are two different things. Chasing a man is once he knows that you like him and he's still not giving you any type of time of day or whatever. He kind of has you just kind of lingering over here. Letting a man know, and I don't necessarily mean like, hey, I like you, but giving him some subtle hints at least to let him know that you like him is two totally different things.
Men are tired of mind games. Speak clearly or stay alone wondering why no one reads your silence.
All right, listen, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. You won, ladies. I'm done dating. I can't do it. The dating world's so bad. I can't. Do I got food pantry stamped on my forehead? Somebody answer me that question, because the amount of food and mouths I fed going out on dates, that's how I feel. I can give hams to the homeless this year for Christmas with the amount of mouths that I fed going on first. I could be driving a Ferrari. I could be driving a Ferrari right now with the amount of money I spent on first dates. I can't take it anymore. And listen, I get it.
This is exactly why a lot of men are just done with dating. They're frustrated because they're doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. They are putting a lot of time and effort and money into the first date. But when ladies don't appreciate that and they go into those first dates with very low energy and very little reciprocation, the date is not going to go well. And that just leads to a lot of these failed first dates. But for women, they will just keep going on these first dates because they're not really putting anything into it. It's different for men, which is why men are becoming more and more careful about who they're asking out on that first date and what that first date looks like. He might rather suggest a coffee date or a long walk. And I think that those are good solutions for men. But the problem is that a lot of women still have not adjusted to it. They think that if a man doesn't spend a ton of money on her on the first date, that he either doesn't have it or doesn't like her very much. Not true, ladies. He's probably just a good man that's tired of feeling used.
A woman who mocks simple effort isn't looking for love. She's chasing clout. Leave early and protect your peace.
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. My comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys.
Too many bring ego, drama, and demands instead of peace, loyalty, or care. Men are done tolerating the disrespect. Unrealistic expectations broke the game. Now men are stepping back as the illusion finally fades. That's all for today. Hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you catch the next drop. Peace. Thanks for watching MGTOW Voice. Show us your love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Support us and help spread awareness for men around the world. We welcome a healthy debate and discussion. So feel free to comment and share your thoughts.